Hi, everybody. As you are watching the material for the first week of ES 1000 in October, I've just prepared two other short videos to finish our discussion about solar power. So this particular video is just a description, or I guess I would say just a pictorial of the system that my husband and I have installed at our house. So I just wanted you to see what it looks like. And then in a little bit, we'll move forward and take a look at how much power it produces, or how much power it's producing at this exact moment, October 1st at 3:19 in the afternoon. All right, so the first thing is, how does the solar system look from the road? Well, this is the road. This is Wyoming 295, which runs right in front of my house. My house is over here behind the trees, and this is our shop. So the solar panels you can just see as a wee thin line on the top of the shop. I've taken these pictures just using a DJI drone, so they're pretty simple. But like I said, I kind of wanted you guys to see what this looks like. So looking back the other way, this once again is 295, but now instead of facing north with the camera, I'm facing south. And I just wanted to show you what the transformer looked like. The transformer is, it looks like a can mounted to a power pole. And if you look at your own house, you'll certainly see one of them. What a transformer does is steps the power down from a very high voltage to a low voltage, so they can go in your house without blowing up your appliances. So turning back around, and now I'm facing kind of northeast, you can see the roof of the shop, and you can see the panels on top. There are 26 panels. When you decide on the size of a solar system, you size the number of panels and the batteries, if you go that way, and some other equipment based on your projected power usage. So ours was sized to 26 panels. You can also see that when you drop down more to eye level, this is a little above eye level, you can see that the solar panels just represent a thin line, so they're not obnoxious or in the way in any way. The next slide I have is on the west side of the shop, and we had to have a different power meter put in our house. A meter records how much power you use, and when you have solar panels, the meter, you actually will, the way that ours is configured, where we're tied into the electric power grid, you will sometimes, and hopefully often, be producing more power than you're using, and so you feed the power back into the grid. So the meter has to be the type of meter that will run backward. So in other words, it runs forward when you're using power from the grid, and it runs backward when you are supplying power back to the grid. This is our control system, and the control system is sort of the brains of the whole operation. It decides based on logic circuits how much power is coming out of the solar panels, whether the batteries need to be charged up or not at that point. And so it decides, first off, if you're making more power than you're using, do we charge the batteries? Or if we are using more power than we're making, do we discharge the batteries? And so the whole thing is quite seamless. So we produce power, and then if we produce an abundance of power, we sell it back to the grid, or we charge the batteries, and then the batteries become charged fully. And at times when we're not producing power, such as at night when there's no sun, the batteries discharge to take care of the needs of our household at that time. The last picture I have is a schematic of how the batteries look. The batteries that we are using are look something like this, and they're actually inside of the shop. So I didn't take an actual picture of the batteries because it's kind of dark inside the shop and they're behind a freezer and so forth, but they're mounted on the wall. We actually have two batteries, and then we have a controller which again makes that decision about whether power is added to the batteries or discharged from the batteries. Right, so that's a brief video of how the batteries work, and how the solar panels work. And I'll post this to your Moodle page, and then we'll have one more video just showing what power is being produced right now.